Hello and welcome to Warcraft Daily for today, the 29th of October 2013. So, unfortunately, we need to make today's episode just a little bit shorter than normal. The reason for that is because I have a crap ton of work to do. And, yeah, there's no way getting around it. So, the first thing is that in this week, we are going to be seeing patch 5.4.1 being live. This will bring the new RAF system and a few pets and things like that. It brings Merkalot. And I believe that it brings in the spell to summon Bernard, the little dog, but I'm not exactly sure how you get that. So Merkalot's in, and then the new Recruit a Friend is in. That brings the new Emerald Hippogriff mount, and of course you can also get the previous mounts, which are the Heart of the Nightwing, the X-53 Touring Rocket, and the Swift Zephyr. There's also the 4 pets that I covered in the previous shows, which are the Golden Pig, Jade Tiger, Z-Pow Tiger, and Silver Pig. So overall, pretty cool. There's a new UI for it and everything like that. It's all been brought in-game, and it's essentially what you expect. As for other changes in the patch, there's just a whole bunch of client-side changes which will reflect some of the hot fixes that have been made to patch 5.4. So, the next thing to talk about is free character transfers, and there was some talk about this in the forums, and people saying that this could potentially solve some issues with just with realm population and that kind of thing. So what Blizzard said is that a large portion of players from your faction could just decide to move to another realm for whatever reason, maybe just to dominate the opposite faction, and with no cost involved, this would be an easy spur of the thing moment to do. And that right now, if people could freely move to whatever server they wanted, they think that what would happen is the busier realms would get quieter, and the quieter realms would get quieter, and the horde-heavy realms would become horde-only, and the same with the Alliance. So it's a little bit of a problem, and they think it would just sort of cause a degradation in the gameplay experience for everyone. And I think that they are in some ways correct if it was just a complete free transfer with a small cooldown. Honestly, I think it should be a month cooldown per character for a free character transfer, and I do think it should be free. And the month cooldown would mean that people can't just make spur of the moment changes. Although I do recognize that there are a lot of issues with it being free, and that I know, and this is definitely true, like, they do make money off these, of course, but one of the reasons for it is there's a little bit of a psychological reason, and they want to socially engineer people to sort of, they just want to socially engineer people to be staying on servers and things like that, because honestly it makes their job easier as well with balancing populations and that kind of thing. But it's certainly an interesting topic. It's something that could be very easily abused if it was completely free and unregulated. So it would have to be unregulated completely, which of course I think, wait, did I just say it would have to be I don't know what I said. Basically, if this is completely unregulated, people can move wherever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want, and it messes up populations. If it is regulated, then it means it's not as ridiculous, because people can't just, as they said here, move to another faction to dominate that faction and then move back again. Now, in terms of the problems Blizzard highlighted themselves, with high pop realms getting lower pop, yeah, that'll probably happen. People are going to leave those high population realms. If the realm leans to one side, like say Horde heavy, Alliance heavy, then the other faction are probably all just going to pack up and leave, which means that there's one server which literally has basically nobody of the other faction. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Like, it's sometimes, it's nice to be the dominant faction, but it's also nice to see people from the other faction around the place. So I think the best way to do this is just the connected realms, because then we'll have the realm problem solved essentially, and then character transfers, I think they should either be a lot cheaper than they are now, or if they are free, they have significant cooldowns. Like right now, they're paid with cooldowns, so I suppose you can see that they're already a little bit concerned about that happening. Now the next thing is just I'm going to round up the realm connections that have recently been made. These are for America, and they are Haramash being added to the Deathrock, Deathicus, Blackwing Lair server. Stonewall is being added to the Bloodcap, Maiev, Boulderfist, and Junemaul server. Imagine that's 4 servers being put together. That's 5 even. Like, that's really quite something. Then Torlindith, something like that, and Frostmane, Winterhoof and Kilrog, Gul'dan, and the Skullcrusher Black Dragonflight server, and finally Lightning's Blade and Burning Blade. So there you go. If you're American, you're getting hopefully a bunch of connected realms. I really like how they're moving this up, so there's going to be 4 or 5 in one big coalesced realm. This means that you could get, say, 10 realms that are literally kind of half dead. Bring them all together into one healthy realm. I think that's quite fantastic, really. Very good for the game, very good for player balance, and overall, if you are in one of these realms, while you might not see a difference immediately, you will over time. If your realm is being connected, and after the connection you still don't feel there's enough players, the chances are Blizzard are going to keep on connecting it. They're just doing one at a time for stability and tech reason. So taking to the forums and bitching about connected realms being pointless isn't really going to get you anywhere, because it's a system that will work for you. You just need to wait until they actually fully roll it out, and right now it's still early days. But anyway, that's it for today's show. I'm sorry I have to make this so short. I do have a normal, regular size Q&A coming up later today, so that should be fun. But yeah, right now it's time for me to dive into Visual Studio 2012, XNA, and continue making our game. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the show, and I'll see you next time.